Hey. Guys. You may be surprised that I'm live. I'm also surprised. Could you record? Okay. You may be surprised that I'm live. I'm also surprised. I came out here to do a test stream for a stream that I'm supposed to do in a couple weeks. I mentioned that today. I was going to come to this cave and do a stream in like 2-ish weeks. And we did the test today and everything was great. Everything looks great. And we got here early and it took like over an hour to get here from Austin. So Space and I were walking around and we were like, do we just watch this emergence offline now that we've tested it? And then I just decided to go live. Because, okay, so also, I'm doing this in partnership with Bat Conservation International. I will say this stream they don't know is happening right now because it's after business hours and I wasn't going to go live today. Bat Conservation International is an amazing organization. I raised money for them when I went to the Bat Bridge, whenever I did that. And they saw all the fundraising come through and I hadn't talked to them. I just fundraised for them. And they emailed me and they were like, oh my gosh, was this you? And I was like, yeah, hi, like, nice to meet you. I can raise you, thousands of dollars. And so I started talking to them and they wanted me to come out here because the Bat Bridge in Austin is 1.5 million Mexican free-tailed bats. The bats in the Bracken cave, there's 15 million Mexican free-tailed bats. And so it's just an unreal, they've literally described it here as a tornado. People have been hyping it up saying it's just incredible. And so we're probably going to do this twice. We're going to do this tonight because we're already here and because we have signal and the backpack and everything ready to go. So we're going to do this tonight. We're going to watch it. And then I'm still going to do my plan. Sangirl, thank you so much. I'm still going to go through, my plan is to still do the 17th, which is the date that I've planned with Bat Conservation International. But I figured it would be fine for me to do it twice. That can't be a bad thing, right? We're just going to fundraise twice and we're going to get double the amount of eyes on it. So it can only be a good thing. Angry Koala, Phoenix, Sangirl, thank you for the donations. I also have Twitch charity going. I know I just did Twitch charity with Austin Pets Alive. But this is for Bat Conservation International today. They're an international bat conservation organization, and they do a lot of research and a lot of work to protect bats around the world. Part of their research is habitat preservation. We're at Bracken Cave Preserve today. It's 1,500 acres just with Bat Conservation International. Nature Conservancy also has another, I think, 1,500 acres. So it's over 3,500 acres of protected land for bats and other wildlife. So they do really, really important work to protect bats, because bats are really important. There are people that will tell you a lot more about that today. Thank you so much, Rocksters Boxers. They're going to tell you more about that today, but bats are really important pollinators. They're seed dispersers. They're just a really important part of our ecosystem, and this is the largest bat colony in the world. So what better place to see the bats than here, right now. Again, this was not the plan today. I'm going to do this again. So if you guys, not that anyone puts my streams in their calendars, but if you were banking on the 17th, I think I'm still going to do the 17th. Mick, thank you for the 50. Anthony, thank you for the 25. Josh, thank you for the 5. I'll also repeat, I recognize I do a lot of fundraising on Twitch. I recognize I just went to Austin Pets Alive. I do a lot of fundraising with Alveus, and now I'm doing fundraising today, and I'm going to do it again. Just know, if you're not donating today, another reason that I'm out here and why Bat Conservation International wants me to be here is so that I can get more eyes on bat conservation. If you're watching, you're helping. So thank you so much. Please don't feel pressured to donate every time. I'm fundraising. I know I fundraise a lot, but I also figure it's good to give you guys the opportunity to donate somewhere cool if you haven't had that opportunity before or don't know where to donate. Now you can really see it and get involved if that's something you're able to do. So, thank you very much. Peach said, oh, this fucks. That's funny that you say that because, I'm sorry I just swore, because I know BCI is going to watch this. me and Space were talking about if we do this today and it's absolutely crazy, then we could bring somebody for the plan stream, so then we can show them in person, and then that'll make it more special. You know what I mean? Anthony is me. Thank you for the 25. Josh, thank you for the 5. Subway Sandwich with the 15. Sadie, thank you for the 5. Again, guys, she said me. Yeah, 15 million bats in this cave. You want to go take a peek at it? Hopefully we don't get in trouble. I don't know why I'm so nervous being here, because I'm fundraising and I'm whispering because I have a lav on and there are people over there. I'm fundraising and I'm doing this education. It just, I always feel like I'm in the way if I'm live, always, no matter what I'm doing. But we'll go take a peek at this, and then they're going to do an educational talk. We're going to sit our butts down over there, and we're going to listen to the educational talk just like everybody else. And you guys are not going to talk because I'm going to have you muted, but you can donate the whole time if you'd like. That'd be really nice. And we're going to listen to their educational presentation, and then we'll come out and sit and wait for the bats. We will be sat and we will be taking notes. Sarah Lynn, thank you for the $3. Yeah, there are like a ton of you here. If you guys all donated $1, we would raise $3,000 already, which would be crazy. It's the other beautiful thing about being online or being on Twitch. I'm also getting quieter because we're getting closer to the cave, and they mentioned they like for people to stay quiet around the cave for obvious reasons. There's 15 million bats in there, so yeah. Wazix, thank you for the 25. Allison, thank you for the 25. Sarah Lynn, thank you for the $3. Also, Allison postponed bug hunts tonight. Usually bug hunts is at 8 p.m. CT, which is in like an hour. No, 30 minutes. She postponed it to Sunday because Allison wants to see the bats. Okay, check this out. This is where all the seating is. So this is where we'll be sat. Okay? Are you ready? This is so crazy. It's like when we walked up here, Space and I were like, oh my God, look at this. That's a freaking cave. That's the cave. They're all in there. Drew Boy, thank you for the 5. HC, thank you for the $1. Baby, It Me, Dusty, Frankie, A Dog, IRL, Jarvis, thank you. Isn't that crazy? Rook, thank you for the 15. So yeah, actual void. So Fran, the director here, who we were speaking with earlier, you'll see him too today. He was telling us, what did he say? I can't remember the numbers he said. There's like 52 feet of rock. They used to mine over there during like the Civil War, and there's 52 feet of rock to bust through to get into the cave, and then it's 117 feet down to the floor of the cave, but then there's 100 feet of guano, bat poop, in that cave as well. So it's like unfathomable, like unimaginably massive. So it's huge. The bats are mining for gold. No, actually they're mining for guano, for bat poop, because they use bat poop for fertilizer and for gunpowder. Did anybody know that? Am I the only one that didn't know that? I'm definitely not the only person that didn't know that. Atlas, Alice, Peach, Mr. Big Mode, Cambin, Nick Wan, Casually Nate, Rook, thank you guys. Mattis, Mr. Dot, thank you. Again, this is not like the main stream. My main stream for them is planned the 17th, but like we came all the way out here and we looked at this and we're like, we should just go live because this is insane. So that's what we're doing. Surprise. 2 streams in a day. Also, if anyone wants to ID this lizard, we don't have those at Alveus. I don't know what he is, but he was there earlier. Well, dude, Evil, thank you for the 50. Malshroud, Supernova, Upplate, Wazix, thank you so much. Thank you for the donations, guys. Looks like a lizard. Yeah, thank you. Did we go this way? Is this the way that we went with him?
Oh, it is.
Oh, okay, let's go this way. I can't believe we have service out here. I can't believe the backpack works out here. We're so far out. Space and I were also, okay, well there's that. Most people probably don't know what that is. Space and I were also talking about like, oh, we could go get food and come back. No, we can't. No, we can't. Not unless we want to drive like an extra hour or something. It me JP! Hello! Thank you for the $50 donation. My cameraman right now is a huge fan. Brain Plastics, It's Big Owl, Negative Toast, thank you guys for the donations. Pork Chopster, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for the donations. Okay, again, you guys want to see the mine shaft we can look at? Oh, another spot that we might want to come look at tonight. The emergence takes 3 hours, 13,000 bats per minute, emerging in the bat tornado. We can also come here. So now we're standing on top of the cave and we can maybe get a view from here. Fran said it's really cool for cameras because it's backlit. So this could be very cinematic. Perhaps we check it out over here. This is kind of like a test stream. Please bear with me. Darkrow, oh my god. Darkrow, thank you for the $100 donation. Darkrow is an oiler, straight up. She's an oiler. Thank you so much. If you guys are just joining in, I'm doing a couple streams with Bat Conservation International at the Bracken Cave Preserve, which is 1,500 acres of protected space for lots of different wildlife, most notoriously Mexican free-tailed bats. The Bracken Cave is the site of the largest bat colony in the world. There's 15 million bats in this cave underneath us, for reference. The other bat stream that I did, or the bat bridge in Austin that you guys may have seen before, that's 1.5 million bats. This is 15 million bats. We are on top of the cave right now, like literally on top of it. So we were just over there. So we can also come over here to view them. This is in Texas. How do they all get food? So they exit at sunset. It's around 8:45 when they exit, so we have like just over an hour. They exit at sunset to eat insects. It's the same as the bat bridge. So they emerge to hunt for insects at night. They fly around, catch and eat bugs. I'm giving you the tour that Fran gave me because I don't know, that's what I'm doing. I don't know what time they start. We'll end up where they are, so that works. What time they start the program. Also, no, you know what? I will try my best to ask if I can give the program person a microphone. I will try, but I'm also nervous and I don't want to bother them. So you guys might have to turn your speakers up. Are you the only one here? No, so it's actually a good night for us to stream because they thought there was going to be bad weather, so they canceled a bunch of their public tours. So there's still some private tours here tonight, but there's less people than there would normally be. These are not vampire bats, these are Mexican free-tailed bats that we're going to go look for tonight. Huh? Oh, go slower? Go faster. Chat, we might have. There might be a bitrate problem. We'll see. Also, you guys will not believe the smell here. I don't really know how to describe it. It's like very... Space just said it's so bad. There's a lot of bats here. Guano smells. Very, very rich in nitrates. Very good for the environment. But it smells very like... It doesn't smell like another... It kind of smells like reptile poop a little bit. Like very stale. Woo! Scared me. Hello. Guys, a friend. I knew I needed to put my boots on today. I think that's a coach whip. He was saying, oh, it's okay. Bye. He was saying that coach whips will hang out at the base of the cave and they'll prop themselves up at the bottom of the cave and wait for bats to fly out and then grab them. So, oh my god, I just got like a really good inhale. Okay, well this is like an entry to the cave. This is where they were mining. And then, yeah, we gotta keep moving. And then over here, this was a Civil War bunker. Because they would guard what they were mining. Wow, that was a crazy, like, just really unfortunate breeze there. Also, we have to keep an eye out for giant walking sticks. You guys see my Instagram story? Go look at it. Fran let me hold a giant walking stick. They're all over here. She was incredible. The largest, maybe the largest bug I've ever held. She's the size of my forearm. Giant walking stick. Go look at my Instagram story. She's huge. Huge. Sharon, thank you for the 50. It Burns, thank you for the 25. WF4, thank you for the 5. Capella's Corner, thank you for the 5. Duve, thank you for the 8. Sharon, thank you so much for the $50. Cooper, thank you for the 5. Guys, try not to mind the bit rate too much. We're keeping on the move, okay? We're out here. We are out here. Stand by. Are you effed, or is it just bad bit rate? We should not have done that walk.
And the latest land purchase that was done just in the last probably 8-ish years was actually slated to become high-density housing. It was already purchased by a developer, and they were able to buy it. So this gives you a little,
What mic is it? This
a
one?
little bit of an idea of what the cave looks like in terms of the footprint. It's not a big cave, and you know. Fun fact about the floor of the cave. Does everyone know what guano is? No? Does anybody want to tell us what guano is? Somebody who knows? Bat poop, yeah. So there's a lot of bat poop on the floor of the cave. We have measured it. We've done some electrical resistivity testing to try to figure out how deep that guano is. We know it's at least 100 feet deep, but they haven't reached in spots, and they haven't reached the rock underneath. So there is a lot of it. we get questions often like, is it ever going to just fill up the cave totally? But it breaks down and it compacts over time. So the reality is that it's extremely slow to build up. Another fun fact about the guano, while I'm talking about it, is there are actually things that live in that guano. So two in particular types of insects. One is called a guano beetle, and they help to break down the guano, almost like an earthworm, like eats its way through the soil. So they process the guano and break it down. But then there are also another kind of beetle in there called dermestid beetles, and they are flesh-eating beetles. So I like to think of them as the piranhas of the cave floor. But unfortunately, what that means is that if a bat falls to the ground and dies, within minutes, these beetles will have it reduced to a skeleton. They're the beetles that like forensics people use to clean up skeletons and things like that. So they live in the cave also. So that's one of the reasons why we don't just want to walk in the cave on our own. Another reason is that the gases, because of all that guano, the ammonia levels are toxic to us. Yeah. So you don't want to go in without hazmat gear, respirator, that kind of thing. It's not safe for us, but the bats are adapted to that, and so it does not bother them at all. The cave is quite warm. It's about 90 degrees on the bottom and about 110 along the roof, which is why, as we're going to talk about in a little bit, that's what makes it such a great maternity cave. It's a great cave for baby bats because it's nice and warm. So on to our bats. The bats that we have in the cave that you're going to see tonight are Mexican free-tail bats. And so this picture is not actual size. Just to worry about that. Bats are in the order of mammal called Chiroptera, which is a Greek root, literally means hand wing. And so you can look at their skeleton here in their wing, and you'll see 4 bony fingers, even with the digits the joints that we have. And then they have a thumb on the top of each wing too. And they can use that thumb. Actually, we think they use that thumb, and they hang on the side of the bats. So one of the cool things about that wing, and you can see that it's narrow, and then because it has those joints, it makes them very maneuverable in the air. They're actually more maneuverable than vertical. And because the Mexican free-tails have that thin wing, they're really good flyers. They have actually been clocked at upwards about 100 miles per hour. So that actually makes them faster than a cheetah in full flight. So cheetah is the fastest land mammal, but the Mexican free-tail would be the fastest mammal that we know of. And they can fly as high as 10,000 feet during their migration flights. So they can go really high. And in terms of distance per night, mile radius from here at night. So they're really strong flyers. They are not typically the bats that I get lots of questions like, why are we putting on bug spray? We have all these bats coming out. Are they going to eat the mosquitoes? But they migrate to Mexico during the winter months. There's another bat, the Brazilian freetail. If you've seen some other bat flights, I think maybe Carlsbad Caverns, some of the other areas that have Brazilian freetails, essentially the same species, but when they migrate, they go to Brazil. So if you hear Brazilian freetail, essentially the same bat. Any questions about our adult bats? Yes.
When a baby is born, does it know how to
We will get to that in a little bit about how long it takes. Yes, but no, not right away.
How long can a bat live?
We estimate about 10 to 15 years in the wild is their lifespan. So, yeah. There were a couple other things I just thought about that I wanted to tell you, and now they left my brain already. So like us, they are mammals, so their bodies are covered with fur, but their wings, at least the Mexican freetail, their wings are more like a thin, almost like a thin skin. Like think about your eyelid and how thin that is. So it's a thin, very lightweight membrane that covers up their wings. Okay. And then I mentioned that this is a maternity colony. So right now in our cave we have pregnant mama bats, and this is we estimate about 8 to 10 million of them. So when the babies are born, 15 to 18 million bats in our cave. So this is the largest known group of mammals anywhere in the world in the summer months. So super cool that is right here. So in our mama bats, I mentioned that they are migratory species. So kind of what happens, what that timeline looks like is they arrive back here in the spring, or early mid-spring. They use this cave, as I mentioned, because it's warm. So when they migrate to Mexico, they come back and they're pregnant. And so they come here. We do have some bats that will overwinter in the cave, a very small population, and they might be a mix of males, non-productive females. We're not entirely sure, but it's a small number. But when the mamas come back, they kind of rule the roost. If there are any males in there, we think they leave and go to some of the bachelor colonies or like under the bridges, or some of the smaller colonies in the area. So the mama bats come here and they're pregnant. In mid-June, they will start to give birth to their babies. And so each mama bat gives birth to one baby, and a baby bat is called a pup. Oh, at first this was just a picture of that. Somewhere in here we've got lots of baby bats. So as I mentioned, the pup is tiny. It weighs about a dime. So they're teeny tiny. They don't have any hair when they're first born. So as you can imagine, a really warm cave is a great place for them to be, because it helps. It's like an incubator, basically. And the warmth of the cave and the fact that the Mexican freetail has a high milk fat content allows these babies to grow very quickly. So in July, about 4 to 6 weeks, those babies are flying on their own. So when the mama first gives birth, the baby is attached by an umbilical cord, just like in a human, and it crawls up onto its mama, and as far as we know, for that first maybe day or two, it lives on its mom. It will stay on its mom, and when she goes out to feed at night. But because they grow so quickly and these bats are so small, it's going to soon get heavy for its mom to carry around. Too much energy. So we have 2 or 3 different areas in the cave that we know of that are nursery areas. And that first couple days, the mama is getting to learn her baby's smell and her baby's sound. So she will only nurse her own baby. So when she goes out to eat at night, she puts her baby in a spot in one of those nursery areas. She'll go out to eat, and she comes back to nurse her baby, and she has to find her baby. She will only nurse her own pup. She has to find her own pup in those millions and millions of bats. And so she will use triangulation sound to try to identify the area that the baby's in. And like, do you all sit still still? If your mom tells you to stay in one place and she walks away, do you stay still for a really long time, hours? Probably not, right? So these bats, are probably moving around a little bit while the mamas are out hunting, so they may not be in the same exact spot she left them. So she's going to use the sound, the unique sound of her baby, and then when she zones in on that, use smell to find her baby to nurse. And their nipples are under their wing, and so that's where the baby nurses from. And so when the babies are old enough to start to fly, as you might imagine, it can be a little bit chaotic. Our cave isn't super big. We've got a lot of bats in there. And they have to drop down from the roof of the cave. We've already talked about how we've got these beetles on the floor that are ready to eat them if they fall down there. They have to fall down and pretty much learn how to fly, and the bats circle. They fly in a counterclockwise circle starting in the cave, and so the babies have to kind of get into that formation all in their first time dropping from the roof. And so we estimate that the attrition rate is kind of high in that first year, or that first really couple of weeks of life, because even just getting into formation to fly is an ordeal. But we call that vortex, that circular motion that they're doing, we call that the bat NATO, and you will see that tonight, hopefully, because we should still have some daylight since it's getting dark late these days. That vortex is going to actually be, you'll see it in the mouth of the cave, and it will come out into the sinkhole and continue up until the bats get to about tree line. And then once they get to tree line, they will usually take off, generally going into the wind, which is somewhere most nights between this direction and that direction. And they're going into the wind, and you'll just see them start to go off in a line. And if you watch that line go off into the distance, you'll see large groups starting to break off in different directions. And one of our theories is that they break off into the roosting groups that they migrate in to go feed for the night. And so I think that's what you see when you see those different groups breaking off. And so when they, going back to our timeline, so the baby bats are born and start to fly in July. By early August, they're pretty much independent, completely independent, and so we generally see a little bit of a decrease in the intensity of our emergence. So we think that at that point, they're starting to get all uncomfortable in the hot cave as they're all adults now, and some of them may take off and go to other areas to finish out their summer. But then when the fall weather eventually comes to South Texas and it starts to get cool, they will start to leave in groups. They don't all leave at once. And we know of over 1,100 different roosts that they use in Mexico, so it's not like all of Bracken Cave goes to one cave in Mexico. They go to many, many different places. But then, most of them will come back here again to have their babies. So when they go out to eat at night, they are primarily feeding on agricultural pests in the areas, like especially kind of to the south and east of us. They're a group of bats in the sky is called a cloud. A group of moths flying around in the sky is also called a cloud. But there are moths, the cotton ball moth and the corn earworm, essentially the same moth, I think, two different names for it. But those caterpillars and that's how dense they are on Doppler. So we're going to fast forward about 20 minutes. We're somewhere in this area on our map here. So we're going to fast forward 20 minutes to when the Bracken emergence has been going on, and this is what it's looking like on the Doppler radar. So these radar images have been super helpful for us because that's one of the ways that we have been able to determine, how far they can go to feed at night. But the weather people now in San Antonio, they filter this out so you don't see it because it looks like a giant thunderstorm in your forecast every night. So they filter it out. If Randolph Air Force Base has any air operations going on at that time, they will generally suspend things also initially. So usually they're not doing much at night, but that's one of my favorites for sure. So I think that's most of what I wanted to tell you all. Oh, I do. Oh, go ahead. Question.
What is a bat's natural food?
So different kinds of bats eat different things. The Mexican free-tail bats, they eat insects. They are strictly insect eaters. Most of the bats that we have in this part of Texas eat insects, but we also have there are some bats in Texas in general that are nectar eaters. They actually help to pollinate agave plants. And so some bats feed on plants, like nectar plants and flowers. Some bats eat insects, and then we do have, there are a few species of bats that eat blood from animals, but none of them live in North America, so you don't have to worry about encountering them. And our bats are small. They're considered microbats. There are smaller bats than our bats, but there are also bats like the flying fox, whose wingspan gets up to about 6 feet. Again, they don't live in America either, so we won't be seeing them. But those bats are megabats. And our bats, even though they do use echolocation as a primary way of navigating around, but they also do rely on vision. So they do have eyesight and they do use it. So we do ask when the bat emergence is going on that you don't use flash or your flashlight on your phone or anything like that, because they are sensitive to that. I forgot to talk about some of the other things that we might see tonight that also like the bats, but for different reasons than we do. There are things that will eat the bats for their dinner. So some things that you might watch out for in the air. We've got multiple species of raptors, hawks, 200 baby bats can fit. So they are pretty small. And that just gives you an even greater appreciation for the moms being able to find their own babies in there.
Well, has there been research on, like, do they successfully find their babies?
It's, you know, we don't, I mean, they I'm not sure how, do you know how we know all that information, Christy?
I know there have been studies that have shown that they find their own and that they will see others.
Right.
I can't tell you exactly how they did that.
Right. Yeah, because we don't, and especially during this season, we limit, you know, occasionally we will have people doing research, but we try to disturb the cave as little as possible. I didn't talk about white nose syndrome. Are y'all familiar with white nose syndrome? Everybody is? No? Okay, so white nose syndrome, it has decimated bat populations worldwide. It started in Europe. It migrated over here at some point started in northeastern United States. It's basically a fungus that gets into the caves, and it will actually grow on the bats, and it will grow on their faces. It primarily affects hibernating species, because what it will do is it will grow on their faces, and it will wake them up from their hibernatory state, and they'll be itching, and they will use up their energy reserves and die. But it first was found in, you know, northeastern United States, and it's been working its way across. At last, the information I have said it was now in 37 states. It might be higher than that at this point. I know as of two summers ago, it had not yet reached Oregon, because my son was working out there, and they did not have it, and they made you sign a waiver that said you didn't wear your clothes on the cave tour anywhere outside in any other state. But it's worked its way across. So, 2019, the fungus was found in Bracken. So we do have the fungus here that's responsible. But it hasn't affected our bats because they don't hibernate. So, but they could potentially carry it to a different cave and interact with a hibernating species and spread it that way. So it's been really hard to control, and it took a long time for us to learn about it. But it's really decimated populations. Like Mammoth Cave in Kentucky, they pretty much have very little bats there anymore. They've all been wiped out. So yeah, that's about it. Okay, I'm gonna put my pictures away. We will go ahead and go for a little walk down by the mine shaft and overlook and wind up in the reading area.
Is this cranked way up? Or is it fine to put back on? It's fine. Can I have one to put on her?
Oh, thank you, Christy.
Excuse me. I didn't meet you earlier. I'm doing a fundraising live stream for BCI. Could I put this mic on you so they can hear you? There's some people watching.
Sure.
Okay.
Are you doing Twitch? Is
Yes.
that what Francis? Okay.
Yes.
I should would have told my kids.
Oh.
They're like on Twitch all the time.
Thank you. Oh, here, you get it.
I've never worn.
They were trying to listen to you. I think they heard most of what you said. Thank you so
I was
much.
gonna say I'm probably not gonna.
No,
talk
you're
a
doing
whole
great.
lot
Thank
more,
you.
But
That's great. All right. Okay, guys.
okay, so I will lead us.
She's
We shouldn't. Hopefully, we won't encounter any snakes, but just stay on the trail, and we will go experience the mine shaft. For those who haven't been there yet, it's a multi-sensory experience.
Bye. Okay, never mind. We're going. Also, we're going to ask when to go back in here. So be aware of that. Tala, Shandy, Perfect, Ruby, Velociraptor, Rye Legit. That's Mr. Anon too. Thank you for the $200.
Did y'all get down by the mine shaft when you were in your walk?
today.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Again, this is a test stream, guys. Bear with us. We'll be more organized next time.
Okay.
I wasn't ready. No one was ready.
Hopefully it will still be light enough, because usually we will walk around to the overlook for
to see the bats kind of going over our heads. So, and it's been light enough
we don't have
to
the ability
be
to
able
mute
to
her
do that.
from the camera. I would have to go
Yes.
over there and mute her mic, and I'm not going to bother her. Let's be honest, it was very brave that I asked to mic her up at all. Okay.
Which is wonderful. I love it.
Kira, thank you for the 5 Peters.
Kind of
Thank
lucky
you for
that
the
storm
25.
blew through here earlier
if you
today,
guys
and
are,
it cooled things off. I think it would have been worse
Sorry.
tonight
Yeah.
if we didn't have that
if you
storm.
guys are just joining the stream, we're at Bracken.
No, not really.
Lake
I live about
Preserve
10
with
minutes
Background
up the
Conservation
road
International
and
today.
up Schoenthal, and we didn't have any at my house, but I was in Cibolo, and it was raining and crazy.
And we're waiting to see an emergence of Mexican free-tailed bats.
Yeah, it just feels like the role they put all these dudes on. They like survive it. To do the cookie job. The happy ending job.
Okay. Almost. Almost had it. Wolf One, thank you for the $100 donate. BCI. Chat, wake up. Wake up. Stay awake.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Wow, look at that. Looks like a lichen orb weaver. Like the one we saw last year, guys. You see that?
That's like your favorite, right?
Big spider.
I think that's maybe why
About
like I caught the
mine
spider
top
web out of the corner of my eye. I'm like,
It's usually very
they are so.
let everybody.
Bit right, sorry.
Did you say you came down? Oh, okay. Is it? I was gonna say I don't smell
Okay.
it from here.
You wanna unmute her? No. He's a genius. Obliterate, thank you for the 50. Wolf, thank you for the 100. Draco, thank you for the 5. Speed, thank you for
Oh,
the 5.
I can see it from here. Okay. It's like an orb weaver or something. I'm stopping us here because we can go up a little closer in a few minutes, but it gets a little stinky. They had like a kiln where they would dry it out, and there's a historical marker and a sign with some information that they would put it on a train and send it into New Braunfels. So the mine shaft but they used to walk in through the sinkhole and back out. And this was before we had hazmat suits, so I don't know what kind of diseases those poor people had that were going in there and pulling it out. But somebody, you know, got the idea, hey, why don't we just drill a hole through the roof at the back of the cave? And so they drilled down to the shaft, and they, you know, would just start to pulley the guano out. So it continued to be mined up until I think about 2009. Once white nose syndrome came onto the radar, and we really didn't know much about it, how it spread, anything like that. At that point, they stopped allowing people to go in and do the guano mining because they wanted to just limit human activity in the cave. So we'll go up. You can take a whiff, get a picture if you'd like to. And while I have y'all close by, I'm going to just go over quickly our viewing area etiquette once we get over there too. So I already mentioned no flash photography. We've got lots of seats, so just make sure you sit on a seat. We've got some concrete benches and some wooden benches. I would not stand on the benches because they're not affixed, attached, anchored into the ground. So the benches, just make sure you're sitting. Don't go. We have little signs in front of the concrete benches in the front that say, not to go beyond that point, because then you can tumble down on rocks. And we also, like I said, have snakes around, so just be mindful. If you see something, let me know. And then once we're in the viewing area, we try to use like our indoor library voices, because it's super cool to hear the bat emergence. And we have a small group tonight, so hopefully it's easy when we have 80 people here. It's sometimes hard to have everybody keep quiet, but usually once the bats comes out, it's awe-inspiring enough that everybody quiets down. But we will all start off in the main viewing area, and then once the emergence gets thick, we'll walk anyone who wants to around to the overlook that we're going to come up by here in a minute too, and you'll be able to kind of see the bats flying over your head, hopefully. So we'll make our way up here. You can check out the shaft. Oh yeah, you'll get a good whiff of it. So, like I said, if you go up a little bit, you'll even feel the warm air. So if you really want to.
Molly,
and tonight is mild. The smell tonight is mild.
How would I get out of here?
Can you just turn it the other way? Chat, we're going for a walk. Trust.
Yes, I believe so. I forgot about that. That's another use for it.
Sorry, he's having signal problems, so he's having to
no, that's fine.
walk ahead a little.
So the shaft, somebody asked me when the shaft was built. It was in the early 1900s. Sometimes we have a volunteer station down here who has all that information. It's not usually, I don't usually like to be the one standing down there, so I don't keep it all in my head. And so this is the overlook area that we will be able to come over to once the bat flight starts. I have one other little show and tell thing that's kind of cool that I'm going to get out of this trunk right here though,
You
real
just
quick,
try, like,
before we
kind of
walk
to avoid the
around.
kids. I just don't like filming kids. If that's at all possible, that would be great.
So I'm just going to plop it down here in the ground. But these are some fossils that we have found on the preserve. So y'all can come around and take a look. Where do you think you would find the creatures that are these fossils? What do they look like to you?
I like the back of their heads.
Where do you think you would find these kind of animals? Do they look like they are things that live around here now? What do they look like?
Snails.
Shells, right? Yes, so this whole area a long time ago was actually a shallow sea. And so the limestone, the rocks that are here, it's basically sea creatures that have decomposed. And so the fossils that we find are all sea creatures like that. That's an ammonite. It's called an ammonite shell.
And what's
And then, so that one, this is called vuggy rock. It's the limestone. If you know how our rocks have lots of holes in it, that the scientific word for rocks with lots of holes is vuggy rock. And then,
this one is cool.
yep, that one has those little snails there called devil's toenails. That's an extinct oyster species that we have found on the preserve. And this is called chert. So this would fill in holes in some of the limestone rocks, and it's shinier, and it's native people would use this to make like arrowheads and spear points and things like that. It makes good things like that. But the chert is actually formed from, believe it or not, sponges, the bodies of sponges that decomposed over time. Soft-bodied creatures. Yes, it is. It's a type of clam.
Sometimes I find these
And
in my
this is some
yard.
petrified wood.
Sometimes I find these in my yard.
Yes, we do have snails around in our yards. Yes. So anyhow, I just thought these are kind of cool to show. So before we walk over, that's another. It's a type of a bivalve or like a clam.
Bears beat. Thank you for the 5. Crows. Thank you for the 5.
Well, sometimes we have it on a
They
table,
said they
and so
emerge
it
around
is sort of
8:45.
a little bit better. But
we still have
tonight
a
we
little,
don't
time.
have it. So, all right, and
about
then
fossils, guys.
let me see. Let me grab my things,
This
and
tour
we
is
will
$30
continue on
each.
around.
That's what all these
And
people paid to do this tour.
hopefully, we
Yeah.
only have about 20 minutes or so
Each
till
of you.
that time.
Every one of you. Peach is good to go.
This is just another sort of overlook viewpoint that we can
Nice, Leonard.
sometimes you can get kind of a cool sunset picture with bats in it because the sun's usually, it's facing over to the west. I'm just gonna wait for everybody to catch up. I just had something I wanted to say. I don't remember what it was.
Monker, thank you for the 30. Kohler, thank you for the 30. Leonard, thank you for the 100. You have
So
now
one of the
covered
things that
2
I
other
forgot
people.
to tell y'all
Say thank you.
is that
Number.
I
number
often
30.
say, get questions, well, how long does the emergence last? And the answer to that is hours. It takes hours for all of our bats to get out of the cave. So we're only going to see a fraction of the bats come out of the cave tonight because, usually by 9:30 we're ready to head out. We've seen it because it's getting dark, and once it's dark, unless we have a full moon, you don't see much after it gets dark. But we should get at least 20 to 25 minutes of decent visibility tonight before that happens. So they will be out feeding most of the night, and they will come back in stages in the morning early morning up until even 8 o'clock a.m. And the morning return looks a lot different. It's a lot more sporadic. Another question I get is, do bats generally, do they come out every night? And the answer is yes, that they're pregnant mamas or nursing mamas, so they need to eat every night. Unless the weather is really awful, that might delay the emergence, or, you know, but they'll try to come out once that system has passed by.
Is that only if the storm is right here, or will they sense if it's in the area?
So if it's in the area, so interesting thing that happened to me one night, I think it was either last summer or 2 summers ago, but I was here, that emergence had started, but there were some really bad storm cells in the general area, not right upon us, but, you know, probably within 30, 40 miles, I would say. So the emergence started, it lasted about 20 minutes and it stopped. And we do see changes in the emergence pattern over the season, but it stopped, and about 10 minutes later, bats started coming back. And in droves. Like, it was like watching a morning return. And so I think they got up and they were like, okay, it's not so good. We're going to go back in and wait this out. And so, but we do see changes in the emergence, like once the mamas have their babies, sometimes the emergence will start and it will stop for 20 minutes, 40 minutes, and then it will start again. More bats will come out. It will stop again. Last summer, like, it was stopping and starting 3 times over the course of the night. And then we also see, as you know, we've had a couple of rains, even though we're in a drought, we've had a couple of rains that have kept the insect populations booming. But if insect supplies start to get a little more scarce, we'll see the emergence get earlier in the evening. Because they need to be out longer or go further to find their food. So those are some of the trends. We keep track, we document the emergence time and patterns every night. So we've seen trends, you know, year to year. Okay, we'll go ahead around and, yes. This is all limestone.
Fire, thank you,
Even that
Johnzilla,
one,
thank you,
I
Mini
think.
Pearl,
Yep.
thank you for the 100.
Just some of it
Coop,
might
thank
have like
you, AMV,
moss or lichen growing on it. Or
the Twitch, thank you for the 100. Number B, thank you for the 30. That's quite a few tours,
there might
guys.
be some.
Love it, love it.
I'm sure there are some
This
around.
is
They
obviously
like
a way that they
certain kinds
fundraise,
of
and
trees usually.
they also fundraise
They have favorites.
via grants and stuff like that, but
So,
they do really,
there are
really
1 or 2
insane
trees
work. They
sometimes
started
in the viewing
this preserve.
area
I know
that
you can
see
still
them.
hear her, sorry. They started this preserve with 5 acres.
That is a great question,
and
and
they've
we don't
expanded
actually
protecting
know. It's-
1,500 acres.
As long as people
So they're
have
doing
lived
really
in
great
this
stuff
area,
with the funds that
they've
they're
known about
raising.
it.
Thank you very much. I'm going to try to let her go first.
But it used to be someone's property, like it used to be part of someone's ranch.
Boo Paul, thank you.
Because it attracts lots of other critters like ants and things like that to us, and so we're just trying to keep them, skunks and raccoons too. So we try to keep them away from us.
Rhetoric, thank you. Okay, if you weren't here at the beginning of the stream, this is the cave. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Have a seat. And look at it. I should, huh? Should I take her mic? Or you want to just mute it? I don't know. I don't think she's going to talk more. Because she said we all had to be quiet. Should I just go take it? I'm going to go take her mic, chat. I can take your microphone back.
Thank you so much.
Sure. Okay, chat. I'm gonna whisper so that I'm not being obnoxious. This is the cave. There's 15 million bats in there. They're very small. 2 thumbs. And the babies are about the size of 1 thumb. Look at that. There's a porcupine. There's at the side of the cave climbing up.
Why does that sign keep going up?
That's a North American porcupine. It is. Hi.
Am I interrupting?
No, you're fine. Hi, I'm Maya. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I work with Fran.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. So, do you guys have any? Do you feel like you have everything you need?
Yes, we're great. We came here to do a test, and we came all the way out here, and everything was perfect, and so we figured we would just do a test live stream. But there's 5,500 people that are watching, and we've raised almost $2,000, so we'll come out and do another one, but we just want to show them today as well, so hopefully that's okay with you guys.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's awesome. Oh my God, I feel so bad.
Thank you. Yeah, of course, enjoy. Thanks. Did you see the porcupine? Chat. Did you see the porcupine? So cool. They're so cute. I love porcupines. She's climbing up the... She's got a laser pointer to show you where she is. This is a North American porcupine. I do a really good impression, but now's not the time. They're very cute. Okay, so, again, this cave is the largest colony of bats in the world. We're looking for Mexican free-tailed bats. There's 15 million in there. The babies are about the size of my thumb. Adults are about double that. And for every square foot in there, there can be up to 400 babies, is what she said. 400 or 500 baby bats. They're packed in this cave. Fran, the director of Bracken Preserve, look at that porcupine, I'm sorry, he's so cute. Look at the way he moves. He's on the move, man. So cute. Bloom, Likely Tom, Albert, Kitty, thank you guys for the donations to Bat Conservation International. Fran said that they come out at a rate of about 13,000 bats per minute. This can last anywhere up to 3 hours, but again, it'll probably get dark before we see all of the bats emerge out of this cave. They've described it as a bat tornado. So they literally drop out here and start circling up into the sky. So we're here to witness the bat-nado. We hit 2K, thank you very much. Bat Conservation International is an incredible organization supporting the conservation of bats internationally. They do research, they do education, and they do preservation of habitat of bats. So we're at Bracken Cave Preserve right now. They started with 5 acres, now they're protecting 1,500 acres, but Nature Conservancy is right next door protecting another 1,500 acres. So this cave is obviously really important. Again, largest colony of bats in the world, so they're doing really important work, both protecting them and doing education with the public to teach them about bats and why they're important. Bats are pollinators, they're seed dispersers, they're an important source of food, and they're an important form of natural pest control. Really important for our agriculture industry because they eat a lot of bugs. That's why they emerge at night, to go find bugs and eat them. Mrs. Star Crunch, thank you for the 30. And Birdie, thank you for the $5 donation. I will remind you guys, the people that are here with us today, the public that's here, these are $30 bat tours, and Bat Conservation International has been kind enough to let us tag along here for free. We are fundraising, so if you guys would like to contribute for being a part of this tour, that would be amazing. Again, all the people in person are paying $30, but if you're not able to do that, that's totally fine. We're also here to spread awareness and to do education for bats also. So appreciate you being here regardless. Birdie, thank you for the $5 donation. They'd said the bats usually start emerging at 8:45. It's 8:30. Corbett, thank you for the $100 donation to BCI. Corbett donated another $100 earlier today. This is my second stream today. Thank you so much. And Yes Yak, thank you for the $30 donation. Pancake, thank you for the 5. Does this cam have night vision? No. That's another thing, is we don't know. Like, if they come out when it's dark outside, we don't know what it's going to look like on camera. That's another reason this is a test stream. M. Russell, thank you for the 50. Thunder, thank you for the 30. Arm, dittos. Tiger, Firm, Rarica, thank you guys for your donations. Appreciate that a lot. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3, we'll see. Tortilla, thank you for the $30. Johnzilla, thank you for the 10. Whoa. B-Mart, thank you for the 30. Zaffrey, thank you for the 5. Russell, thank you for the 30. Louched, thank you for the 6. $2,500. I'm trying to speak quietly. Oh, we found our first bat. That's it, guys. That's it. That's what we're looking for. Snooky, thank you for the 35. Montana, thank you for the 30. Rye Legit, thank you for the 50. Baritone, thank you for the 30. Peel, thank you for the 5. Hey Birdie, thank you for the 5. Bottled Wind, Tatsu, thank you guys for your donations today. Guys, we saw one bat. And Time Begins, thank you for the 30. Hey, I'm Louie, thank you for the $1. What do you think the people around me think I'm doing? An auction? Do I see $2? Oh, Sarasota Pop, thank you for the 30. Thank you for the 30. Do I see 40?
You missed all 8 million of them?
Indecisive, thank you for the 10. HCX, thank you for the 5. Thank you, Allison. I think all the people here also think that I'm slaying. Personally. Whose name is this? Thank you for the 5. Guys, very soon, the bats will start emerging from that giant cave. Would you go in there? Yes or no? So many of you are saying yes. There's 100 feet of bat poop in there. It's 100 feet deep of bat poop. Pineapple, thank you for the 10. Beauregard, thank you for the 5. Mitch, thank you for the 5. Thanks for the prime. Any primers while we're here waiting for the bats? It's a great time to use your Twitch Prime. Lenorb, thank you for the 50. Thank you so much. Claire, thank you for the prime. Daflo, thank you. Not only is there 100 feet of bat guano, bat poop, in the bottom of this cave, there's also ground beetles that will eat your flesh. It's the beetles that forensics use to clean skeletons. Wow, look at all those primes. Thank you very much. September, thank you for the 15. Daxter, thank you for the dono. Nuke, thank you for the dono. Marcelo, thank you for the $2.22. PF, thank you for the 50. Paforis, Thank you, Bree Smiles, E. Cooper. Thank you guys very much. Guys, it's getting darker. The bugs are getting louder. The bugs are flying around me. The bugs that the bats want to eat. Fran also told us that the nursing mothers have to produce 15 grams of milk a day. Do you know how much the bats weigh? 15 grams of milk a day for their babies. Guess how much the bats weigh? 12 to 15 grams. She said if you, huh? What? Not right now. She said if you cup your hands behind your ears, you can start to hear, oh my god, bats. Oh, this is gonna be, do you see them in there? To show them. Don't look at me. I don't think you guys are gonna be able to see that, but it is like, it's circling. They're circling inside the cave. They're flying. They like dropped from the ceiling. You're just gonna have to believe me. Wait until they come out. Devna, thank you for the 25 natural. Thank you for the 10. Daedalus, thank you. Nan Kroon. Fiona, thank you for the 5. Oh, they're coming out. Did we hit 3K? Thank you guys so much. Can you guys see them? Oh my god, they came out so fast. I can't believe we can just sit here, like so close to them. Oh my god. It is a tornado. They were not lying. Oh my god. I'm gonna be honest, if I wasn't here with a group like this, I would be running. Dude, they're leaving. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh my god. Marcelo, Posh, thank you guys for the donations. Bat NATO. Look at them up there. So they're leaving to, oh my god, oh wow. They're leaving to feed tonight. So they go out and they feed all night and then come back in the morning. Oh my god. They eat insects, flying insects. Space, you wanna shoot that? It might look better. Maybe, I don't know, I'm not seeing what they're seeing. Bat River. This is a lot of bats, guys. Look at the Bat River. So, Fran said that the way that they originally found this cave was in the 1800s, and it was because of this, I'm calling it a bat river, but that's not what it's called, in the sky. There were so many bats, they thought that they were smoke trails, and so people followed the smoke trails back to this site thinking that something was on fire. But it was 15 million bats. Nate, thank you for the $500 donation to Bat Conservation International. Oh my god. Thank you so much. Shall we move? Oh my god. Red, thank you for the 50. London, thank you for the 5. Strauss, thank you. Superduck, thank you. Do you want to walk with her? Chat, let's go see if we can get another angle from the other side. Okay, I understand why they call it a tornado. This is crazy. Don't be worried that we're missing stuff because there's 15 million bats in the cave. Also, Case reminded me, thank you, it's not just the largest colony of bats in the world, it's the largest colony of mammals in the world. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's so cool. That's nice. They're all going out for dinner, guys. Sincerely, thank you. Koi, thank you. Renda, thank you for the donos. Oh my god. Space. That is crazy. That's absurd. Oh my god, that's insane. Okay. Alright, let's go this way. Oh my god. They're so loud. Braculo, thank you for the 10. Extrol, thank you for the $1. Magnum, thank you for the 5. That is crazy. That looks crazy. You're hearing katydids right now, not bats. For those of you who are just joining in and are like, what the heck is going on? We are at Bracken Cave Preserve. Bracken Cave Preserve right now with Bat Conservation International. And we're looking at Mexican free-tailed bats leaving their cave for dinner time. They will be out all night hunting insects, flying insects. They're hunting flying insects. These are aerial insectivores. They're very important. They're great natural pest control. They're seed dispersers. Other bats are seed dispersers. And there's 15 million bats in this cave, which is the largest colony of mammals in the freaking world, which is pretty incredible. Bat Conservation International is amazing, guys. Thank you for your donations today. They do great work with research, with education, with protecting habitat. Again, we're at Bracken Cave Preserve right now. They started with 5 acres. Now there's 1,500 protected acres for these animals, which is amazing. Pretty sweet. We're fundraising for them today. And we will be back here for another stream in a couple weeks. Agrathar, thank you for the 5. Serdab, Strange, Sapience, thank you. Sorry, I got kind of, oh my god, they're flying over. I got nervous because one of the BCI employees was watching me when I said all that. And I felt like a fraud. I'm like not a bat biologist. I have a bat biologist staring at me. I did like that. Should we go back? Do you think it was better over there?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's walk a walk, guys. Alright, we're gonna go back and see what it looks like now. It's getting pretty dark, which is kind of tough on the camera. I recognize also bitrate wise. I don't know what this looks like to you, but oh my god, this is incredible in person. This is so pretty. Peach, you want to come? Anytime I do a stream, it's just Peach and Room. That's it. Dude, it's so loud. Can you hear that? easy to try to switch to the boom? No, never mind. I'll change it. It's not loud enough. This is so cool. Bats. Oh.
Gotta be a night if we stood right here and they actually think it might work.
Maybe. Bats. I don't know. It's not very loud. I was gonna say, like, you can hear their wings kind of. I think you could hear it at the bat bridge. It's just kind of like clicky. Like it sounds like, kind of sounds like grasshoppers. I don't know. But I don't think you'll really be able to hear it, so it's fine. What's up? Thank you for the 5 RJP loops. Thank you. Quazir, thank you. Agrathar, thank you for the donation. Alright, let's see what they look like from here again. So cool. I don't want to, like, disturb people by talking. Okay. Oh my god, that is such a crazy... This is insane. Someone said, can 15 million really fit in that cave? Number one, the cave is massive. Number two, they say 400 can fit in 1 square foot because they all pack together, so yes. How long will they stay out? They stay out all night hunting, and they return in the morning. The return does not look like this. They said it's more scattered. They come back at different times. It's like purple martins, but they come back in the morning. They have toxic poop. I don't know that it's toxic, but guano is very interesting. There's 100 feet of guano, bat poop, inside of that cave. Like, it's 100 feet deep. And they used to mine guano both for fertilizer because it's really high in nitrates and for gunpowder. How do the researchers go into the cave? There are some researchers that will enter this cave that we're looking at here, or that is in front of you. But for the mining that they did before, we went on a walk to see it. We had some bitrate problems, but they had to blow up the ground, and they had to go through 50 feet of ground and rock to get into the cave, and then the cave is 117 feet from the top down to the top layer of guano, and then it's 100 feet of guano additionally. So it's huge. Where is this location? We're at Bracken Cave Preserve, which is in, I think it's San Antonio. I think we're in San Antonio, Texas. we were asked to use our library voices here. Bring Nick Palm. Next time, Nick Palm would hate this. He would not want to be here. How are there still so many bugs with that many bats? If you're talking about the bugs that are insanely loud and obnoxious, those are katydids. These bats eat flying insects, so like moths. They wouldn't be eating katydids. I mean, they would if they were in the air. But, oh my god. There's so many. How is the smell? It's pretty extreme. It smells like reptile poop, kind of, like really stale poop, but it doesn't smell like cat poop or dog poop. I don't really know how to describe it. If you don't know what reptile poop smells like, I don't know what else to compare it to. Okay. You know what pavement smells like after it rains? Where it's like really like weird and rocky and like wet pavement. It smells like that if the pavement was covered in like a thick layer of pee instead of getting wet from the rain. It smells like that. Like it has that like really earthy, pavementy smell, except it's also weirdly like acidic and stale. You had us in the first half? No, it doesn't smell good. Space, did you hear that description? Do you think that it smells like pavement? Like wet pavement, except it's wet because it's covered in pee?
Yeah, cat pee.
He said, yeah, if pavement was covered in cat pee.
It's like putting our head inside of really pungent, strong cat.
Yeah, or it's like putting your head in a litter box that's very dirty.
Like really, really pungent.
And you're just like getting all the fumes from the litter box, but not poop. Just like the fumes of it. I don't know. I think it's fine. Is this live or am I tripping? This is live. You're just looking at the bats and not me. I have a microphone, but I'm using my library voice as to not disturb everyone else's experience. This is so ridiculous. What the hell is going on? I will repeat. There are 15 million bats in this cave. They're leaving at a rate at about 13,000 bats per minute. They're Mexican free-tailed bats. By the way, guys, this is the largest mammal colony in the world. This is the largest colony of mammals in the world, but also this is the fastest mammal in the world. A lot of people are like, oh, cheetahs are the fastest mammal in the world. They run at like, 70 miles an hour? No, Mexican free-tailed bats are mammals, and they can fly, I think, over 100 miles an hour. Not as fast as, they're not the fastest animal, because peregrine falcons can dive faster, but they're, insanely fast for a mammal. Fastest mammal on the planet. Shout out World's Wildest. Y'all heard it there first. Guys, I've been reading chat the whole time. I'm gonna put you guys down and put my mic down for a second so I can soak this in as a human being. Stand by. I love nature. I'm geeking right now. It's getting really dark. I said that they were the fastest animal, right? And I'm watching them. I doubt the camera picks this up, but it like, they move so fast and there are so many of them. They look like smoke. It's like they're leaving trails because they're moving so fast and it looks like freaking smoke. It's so cool. Can you guys see anything anymore? Oh, yay. It might look better on the camera than it does for me. Space, you want to switch to the shotgun? You can stay there. Or not. Do you want to switch to the shotgun? I want to see if you guys can hear this.
I hate it.
take the camera. I want to play National Geographic.
It's on automatic right now because
Oh my god.
it has a low FPS, so you can't do anything with
But yeah, can you even... Oh my god. Chat, I'm playing National Geographic. This is my camera work. Tell me what you think. Can we go higher? I mean, we can, but there's nothing up there. Is that what you wanted? More ISO. Let me just ruin everything really quick. Huh? Mm-hmm.
You can do it from off of this menu.
Yeah, how do I get off this menu? Oh my god, it's so heavy. Oh god, guys. There's a... What is that called? Chuck's widow? Will's... What is that called? Do you hear it? Chuck Will's widow? Ominous, thank you for the 25. Thank you so much. Alright guys, are you seeing anything? Should we close up shop? It's getting dark. Hello Allie, welcome to the stream. Alright guys, I think we're gonna call it a quits here. Okay, I will remind y'all this, you can just keep going. I'll remind you guys this was a test stream for an actual stream that I have planned with BCI on the 17th. I will maybe bring somebody with me on the 17th to see this because this is absolutely incredible. Thanks for being here. Super short notice, just like surprise stream. I hope you guys come to see it again. I figured you would. I figured that wouldn't be a problem, that I do it twice. This is pretty sweet. So hopefully you guys come back for another stream. The plan is to do it on the 17th of June, which is in like a week and a half, I think, or 2 weeks. So I'll keep you guys posted. The only chance that that changes is based on weather. If there's like a storm or something, they won't emerge. So yeah. But thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for your donations to BCI today. Again, on such short notice. What is the final amount, guys? I don't have it on my phone. What is the final donation amount? $3,723.23. That's so crazy. Thank you guys so much. I'm so excited to tell them that. Hopefully they're not like, what the heck, why'd you go live? Because I wasn't supposed to today. But this is great. I hope you guys learned some stuff about bats. You can do command bats to get to Bat Conservation International. Again, really important organization. You can follow their social media and all that. That would be a great way to support them as well. And bats are really important, and we love bats. So yeah, that's all for today. Thank you all. I will see you tomorrow at 2 p.m. CT for a Super TF collab on his channel.